Okay, I'm declaring it 6:30, so we are going to open our meeting of the Waterboro Planning Board for August 7th. We have a quorum. We have a new member, Deborah.
Yes.
And thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We also have a former member that I want to announce. Sam Hayden has resigned because his work conflicts just became more than he could handle with making the meetings. So we're set on that. Before Sam left, though, I want to make sure you all have a copy of a note that he sent, and we're treating this like public comment on the Townline Deli.
Can we do that?
And so I want you each to have a copy. I think we've got a copy for you all. And if we don't, you have it.
I guess we do that.
You do. Yeah, and so it has some comments on drainage issues and they're worthy of, it's worthy input, and we'll go from there. We canceled the public hearing as well as the site walk tonight due to the weather. We'll be rescheduling those as soon as we can, meeting the proper announcements, public announcements that we have to do. So as a result, we really won't be covering any Townline Deli issues this evening. Okay? Any questions so far? So what I would like to do is go through our agenda. We're going to skip the minutes for right now. We'll go do those towards the end, and we'll skip to old business. What I would like to start off is Erik Triance here?
Erik cannot be here. He's on the agenda
Yes.
simply to get the findings of fact signed.
Okay.
There were no conditions. I included it in your emails.
Right.
Just in case, as Kayla pointed out, I spelled the name wrong.
Okay.
Thank you. 'Cause I'm like
We got that?
things.
That's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did fix that. So that the copy that, if you agree that everything's okay on it, the copy you're gonna sign does have the correct.
Has everyone had a chance to review the findings of facts? And Deborah, we won't hold you on this one.
Thank you.
Okay, so you'll be a non-voting observer on this one?
Correct.
Are there any questions or concerns?
I had none.
Do I have a motion to accept the findings of fact?
Motion.
We have,
Motion to accept the finding.
There you go.
do I have a second?
Lori will take it.
No, I wasn't.
Then I'll take it.
Dwayne has second. All in favor? Opposed? We're set. So the findings of fact are accepted. Tammy, anything else that we need to do on this other than signatures?
Signatures at the end of the meeting.
Very good.
That'll be it. Yep.
Our next order of business is going to be Busy Bees Childcare. And Alexis and Christopher Duplessis, if I pronounced that close to correct?
Duplessis, yeah.
Duplessis?
Duplessis, yeah.
Duplessis.
Duplessis.
Oh, bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Very good. Okay, and you have the floor. You have given us a handout that had pictures of boulders.
Yes, so we have the Jersey barriers currently in place.
I saw them.
Yeah, most of you probably know. It's right beside the milk room for those of you who weren't here the last time. The fencing actually got moved 6 feet off the pavement farther than we were hoping
Right,
due to the septic system.
okay.
So we were looking at the Jersey barriers and we really are hoping to change to large boulders instead.
Glenn, Lee, any comment? I mean, as long as they carry the weight and they have the spacing so that a car can't get through, one is as much a barrier as another, isn't it?
It is. The only thing I'll say is that the Jersey barriers are made for stopping vehicles,
Right.
and boulders are not. That doesn't mean that the boulder won't stop a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So the boulders that were submitted look big enough to me to stop a vehicle.
Is there some criteria that we apply to
Well,
that? Big.
That's the issue. That's the issue.
That's
Yeah.
why we're here.
You know, so who's going to determine if the boulder is big enough?
So what's the objection about the Jersey barriers? I mean, they certainly do the job there.
They do the job. They're very expensive. They're not appealing. It's kind of taking up a lot of space for all of us there. And I feel like the rocks would be more aesthetically pleasing, protect cars just as well. I've talked to several dirt workers who use rocks just every day. I don't know if you guys know, but a rock will grip the ground, so they think that it'll be equivalent, if not more effective than a Jersey barrier in stopping a car at that location, because the Jersey barrier will slide if it's hit at a fast enough pace where a rock will more so grip the
Well,
ground.
hopefully no one can pick up enough speed in that parking
One
lot,
would
too.
hope that a boulder would stop them anyways, but one would hope that the fencing would stop
My
them.
only experience is really, are any of you familiar with Limerick going out on, towards the gravel pit? And they have the snowmobile club house there, and some fellow ran the stop sign there and hit the rocks, moved the rock a foot. It didn't hurt the rock, killed him, unfortunately. So that was at speed.
Yeah.
So, and Glenn?
I guess, I wouldn't mind the rocks. I guess I would want to be able to say, no, this rock isn't going to work. You know, I think they described the rock as being 3x3, and depending on what the species of rock is, you know, if it's a 3x3 hunk of ledge, that's not going to move. But if it's a 3x3 bank run rock, then it could. So
I didn't
you
see
guys-
a dimension on the rock.
No, but
three by
she
three,
described it as
3x3.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Have you seen
Yeah.
the ones that are protecting the oil tanks down at the beside Family Dollar at the hardware store?
Yep.
They're like the same ones that we're looking at are coming out of a pit, and they look exactly like those ones.
What's the weight on the rocks?
Well, the hunks of ledge that she is talking about, a car is not going to be able to move those. Those are ledge.
Okay.
So there is a difference between ledge and a bank run boulder. So if it was ledge, then, and the rock wasn't backed up to the fence, so I think it would be good. But I just want to caution everybody that, you know, the Jersey barrier is meant to perform one purpose. And a boulder is up in the air, you know, it's.
Well, they're using boulders to protect the propane tank, right?
Yeah, and the state inspector passed
Yep.
that one.
So if Lee, do you have any sense
The
on
only
this?
thing, well, the only thing I would say is that I think that, the issue that Glenn is talking about would be that you don't want to have boulders that are, small boulders.
Right.
Certainly, she provided a photo with some very large boulders, very large rocks that clearly would stop a car if they're set correctly. And so I think part of it's going to need to be Glenn being on site when those are delivered to determine if they are in fact large enough to, be set in a way that are going to stop a car.
Glenn, do you have any objection with that condition?
I don't.
Okay.
You know, I
so-
think the plan was to dump some gravels around the stone just to, I know what she's after. I mean,
Crushed
the Jersey
stone.
barriers are pretty
Right.
ugly.
They're-
They are. They're horrendous for a
Displeasing to the
childcare
eye.
center. Thank you. The building is so nice.
that
And
sometimes function.
Yeah.
And I agree 100% when it comes to the safety of children.
Yeah.
My own children are in there.
Yeah, I mean, what I would think, does anyone on the board have comments?
I do.
Go ahead, please.
No, they should.
Please.
So, as someone that's worked in public safety and I've seen my fair share of accidents and impact, the Jersey barriers are meant to take a certain type of impact. And they're at a length that they cover the entire front of a vehicle. So if they're 4 foot, you're going to absorb most of the impact. You have a rock that's 3 foot, you're absorbing the impact from a corner or the middle or the side, which means that vehicle can flip up, it can flip to the side, it can flip to the other side, depending on where you hit. I question whether or not even a 3x3 rock would be sufficient when we're talking about children on the other side of that fence.
We also have to sufficiently place them close enough so that if you hit one, you're going to hit the other. There's going to be no space to slide through.
And that's not what I'm saying. So if you hit it on, say, the right front corner of a vehicle, and you take all the impact, it will either flip up. If there's enough force behind it, it can come up. I've seen vehicles flip over those rocks before.
At what speed?
Variable 40.
You're
Well,
talking
you-
pull into a parking lot, stop.
Well,
and
you've got a
hit the
corner
gas.
there too that's an active corner and an active road. So people could come in at some speed.
And there's a lot of accidents that occur in that area,
Yeah.
from the high school kids, you know, there are just,
Not a few people who've been out partying.
yeah, too.
Laura?
I was more in favor of the rocks. As long as they were at least 3 feet square and at least set 8 feet minimum on center.
Okay.
I'd go even closer than
I would go.
You want them
yeah.
closer? Yeah. Well, I said at
I
least.
said 3 feet in between.
that. Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
remember,
instead
we
of
don't,
5, yeah.
remember, we don't want to impact the rest of the parking lot. You know, if you move that boulder out 3 feet or 8 feet from the fence, or even 7 feet, now you're into the parking lot even more than, the hell, get out of here, you,
I think she's talking
yeah.
horizontally.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
I
separation,
gotcha.
side to side separation.
Gotcha.
With the we're playing the gap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what could fit through, you know, what
Well,
would
at
slip
8
through?
feet
And
on,
if,
at 8 feet on center, that leaves a 5-foot gap.
Gap,
If
yeah.
you close the gap, you're gonna have less in between.
yeah, so if you got it down to a 3-foot gap
Right,
in between, then you'd have less likelihood, I
of
mean-
something going through. Yeah.
right?
What are the size of those boulders over at the other business?
Huge. They're probably between 4 and 6 feet. They're chunks of granite. They're huge. They're heavy.
Okay, well, what we're looking at is 2 different parking lots, because that parking lot is
That's
probably
correct.
5 times the size of this one,
Yep,
and it's probably got 5 times the amount of traffic.
yep.
And it has
How about,
explosive, and they're protecting an explosive tank.
Yeah. How about if we find a compromise in the size of the rocks, because I seen there's some concern about the 3x3. You wanted you were talking about spacing between,
No, I want at least a 3-foot by 3-foot.
and you said they were what?
No,
5
definitely
by
not.
4 to
Like I
5
said.
feet in length. They probably stand 3 feet tall. The ones at Plumber's Ace Hardware.
How big are they, Glenn?
Pardon me?
How big are they?
I'm gonna say 4 to 5 feet, probably 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
They're at least 1.5 tons each, I would guess.
What do you think about those?
4x4?
Same thing that's out in the other parking lot.
I can do that.
If we can duplicate
That's fine.
closely what Plumber's Ace Hardware has in front of their
Around the
propane
propane.
tank.
So there's two criteria then. It's one, the size
Yep,
/weight,
And the space.
and second is the spacing.
yep,
So that, I mean, about the only thing that should be able to get through there is a motorcycle.
pretty much.
And that's what you're
Pretty much.
hoping, if that- if
That's
you did
what
that.
we're going for anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want anything going through that fence.
Right, well, I think we all share that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but it's, what I don't want to do is compromise safety for an aesthetic
Agreed.
concern. So if.
And I voiced that same opinion.
If we
It's not
can-
how pretty it is or how pretty it's not. It's
Yeah,
the safety
this
of
is
the
the
children.
outside. And, I'm always, I've seen, I personally have never done this, but I understand that, people burn out in parking lots and do some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And, you don't know that's gonna be in the middle of the night or something.
And no, we agree with you. The Jersey barriers are much more costly than we originally had planned, which is
Yeah.
another reason why.
Okay.
The rocks seem to be a good alternative for safety, money, all of the above,
Any other discussion?
I have one other question. In noticing the Jersey barriers on the end, I also noticed that the gate on that end has been moved. So now that gate opens into the parking lot instead of out through the grass on the end.
There's 2 gates.
Yeah, there's
Correct. But both of them in the original presentation opened into the grass. Now one of them is opening into the parking lot.
That's just for us to use. No one's going to use that
Oh,
besides us.
I see what you're saying.
Right.
That's a
Originally, there was one on the end.
On
that
the
came
end.
straight out.
No, you're right. I see what you're saying. It was easier to go into the parking lot, And they both lock from the inside. That's for personal use. We're actually required by the state to only have one fire exit from the playground. So I wanted a personal gate, and then our fire exit is beyond. That way they can exit into the playground, and then last resort go into the grass.
Okay.
So that was the reason behind that. So I apologize. I did forget about that.
Yeah. No, I was like, okay, I don't want children going. The whole point is the safety of the children is right
Right.
here, but now you've got a gate that opens directly into that.
No, the locks are very high.
Okay.
And they're actually quite difficult to unlock. A little bit of you have to push it real good, but
Okay, any further discussion?
Well, I was going to ask a follow-up question based on Lori's comment, and the question would be whether or not the state has been down to inspect the site yet, and have they approved that, just to confirm your concern. So has the state
the
been
state.
down and...
I'll have the childcare license on Friday, and we're able to open on Monday.
So
the
they have
state's
visited
already.
the site, they're
Yeah.
okay with the gate situation?
The licensor's
Okay.
been out multiple
And
times.
when they did the inspection, did they look at the Jersey barriers then and say those were okay?
No, they did not look when the Jersey barriers were there.
Okay, I was gonna say, if they
There's-
looked when the Jersey barriers were there and now you're gonna change it, then you've gotta get a new inspection, right?
No, they don't. They don't look at the requirements for
Okay.
that.
Okay, yeah, you're
That's
saying
a
it's not,
local
Okay.
issue.
That is
Okay,
local.
that's fine.
And I'd offer a condition
Sure.
for you, Mr. Chairman, based on
Please
your
do.
conversation. That the rocks be 4 to 5 feet in size, with spacing no more than 3 feet between each rock. That gives Glenn a measure to use when he goes out on site.
What was the
And-
spacing?
No more than 3 feet between each rock.
4 to 5 feet diameter? I mean,
Yes.
these are not round.
Yeah,
I mean,
They're kind of oblong at plumbers.
okay, so the longest dimension, at least 4 feet,
Right, you want them bigger than smaller.
and you want it high enough even, so it's gonna,
Yep.
a car can't go over. it. So
Correct.
it's gonna catch the front end of the
Yep.
truck.
That's right.
And before you move off the daycare subject, seems that we're talking about rocks and fences. I think she wanted to, her scope of business opened her for 5 days a week. I think she's interested in doing Saturdays as well.
Saturday nights as well. That was, I think it was in the original one that we were going 5 days a week, and possibly in the future Saturday nights. We're gonna offer a Saturday night date night. We'd really like to make it from 6 to 11 p.m. every Saturday night.
what's a date night?
Like where parents go out and we do like a movie and pizza
For the kids.
for
They
the
wanna
children.
help the kids.
Right.
For the parents.
No, yeah, they get to leave, so just us.
Getting out.
I had to ask what a date night is, I guess you know.
So,
Mr. Chair, if I can just, we'll back up a little bit. So Mike Frazier, the Waterboro Fire Marshal, and myself did a final inspection at the site and found everything, actually, we did 2 inspections there. The re-inspection found everything satisfactory. So I handed her the certificate of use, which includes everything, all the conditions of the planning board, and other criteria that she needs to hold a valid state license in order for the Waterboro permit to be valid. So so we're amending the stone versus the Jersey barrier, so I
Yep.
recommend also amending the operational days from 5 to 6.
that's what's being requested.
That's what's being requested by the applicant.
So, planning board discussion of the request for the additional evening hours?
Is this gonna include Saturday nights? Or we're just talking about the boulders and
2
1 hour
things.
extra?
Yep, the
That's
boulders
what's on the
and
table right now.
an extra day of operation.
And the extra.
Oh, and the extra day.
And an extra
Yes,
day,
the evening of operation.
yeah.
The state did come by and I questioned her specifically about the Saturday nights. Because I was worried I wanted to offer it, but they are signing like a drug and alcohol waiver every time. There's specific procedures in place. The state allows the nighttime hours. We're not going through the night, which is a good thing. So it's just till 11. So she did approve of that and recommend it.
Okay, and there's something in writing to that effect?
That she approved that.
Approved it?
The specific hours, she does not write down that she approves, but she approved like my packet with my papers.
Okay,
So in there was a date night, like flyer when she looked it over and all that.
okay.
I can get you the exact
So
flyer that she approved
it
if you'd
was
like.
approval by inclusion.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I think we should have a copy of all this stuff for your file here.
Yeah, that would be good.
All right.
Yes.
And
My office doesn't have an issue with what she wants to do. If the planning board amends that, then I will amend her certificate of use, that's all.
Okay. Further discussion?
One last quick question. The configuration of the gate, how true is that to what you originally presented? Because you said it had changed.
It has changed because she was building on top of the septic
Oh, I see.
system. I didn't think there was an issue.
No,
The
I was
location now is better than what it was originally.
Well, I was just thinking
Yeah.
of a record of what was actually built, if that's something that
Yeah.
you're fine with. I'm
She has
fine
already
with it.
submitted a new plan.
Has she?
She
Okay,
has.
then that satisfies
Okay.
my question.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Go ahead.
Well, it's not quite a discussion, but Lee J, do we have to put forth a reconsider of our previous decision on these Jersey barriers, or do we just vote over it?
No, because this is an amendment to the plan.
Okay.
Reconsideration would be if you denied the application or approved it and wanted to reconsider your position on your approval or denial.
Fine.
So, first, we're gonna have two motions here.
Yep.
The first motion will be, if someone cares to make it, that we approve the use of 4 to 5 foot by 3 foot blocks, 4 to 5 foot blocks with 3 foot spacing in place of the Jersey barrier.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Can I ask one question on that?
Certainly.
Can we also add what the rock is made out of?
That
Or
should
no?
not be made, that
Yeah,
change should not be
we-
done.
we're-
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, they-
Okay. I would prefer to leave it generic, simply because, I mean, this is my opinion. If we amend the language, 4 to 5 foot rocks, spaced boulders, consistent with similar use.
Okay.
At another business.
Yeah, consistent, I mean, similarly used for this type of barrier, spaced 3 feet, no more than 3 feet apart. Does that get us closer? Because I don't care whether it's granite or lead.
Right.
Who cares that it's not sandstone or sort of compacted sand or something that just sort of makes a nice poof when you hit it. Yeah. So, or that are generally accepted usage for this kind of application. And Glenn, you know what we're saying?
I do, but you should, somehow you have to leave that decision to either the code officer or she's coming back here.
I'm going to leave it to we're going
Okay.
to
Yeah.
delegate this to the code officer if that's what, I don't intend to get into the
No,
geologic
I'm confident
review
with that decision.
Okay?
process.
Yes.
So the motion would be to replace the Jersey barrier with boulders 4 to 5 foot in diameter of a quality consistent with the intended use and spaced no more than 3 feet apart.
With a height of 3 feet?
We didn't put a height, we just said 4 to 5 foot, so.
Okay, so they're gonna increase in height with the length. Gotcha.
Hopefully,
Gotcha.
length in proportion to height.
Yep, gotcha.
But, and subject to the review and approval of the code enforcement officer.
That works.
Does that cover our bases?
Well,
All right.
3 feet
CO.
space between the rocks, no, it's
Yep.
Yeah, right, it's not what I'm saying, it's between the gap.
between the gap.
We're minding the gap. Okay? So,
I do.
I
That's,
hear a motion to that effect.
that's what I make the motion.
Is that what you want? Right, I say.
Yeah, I'm on it, I'm on
Brian
it.
has made a motion, do I hear a second? John? Do we have any further discussion?
Actually, I have a clarification question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
When placing the boulders and removing the Jersey barriers, we will be open
Yeah.
at that time. So what's the process between approving the rock and removing the Jersey barriers? Am I going to remove them one night and then be able to be open the following day?
As long as you have
Or-
something in place.
And then you can come inspect it during business hours.
Yep.
And then if it's a no, I could put the Jersey barriers back? Or
Rearrange.
okay.
The key is number one, you can't be in business without the barriers in place.
Well,
So-
yes, but
okay,
the rock
if-
will be in place before it's approved.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay.
But you know what we're looking for.
I do,
And
yeah.
I think we've tried to be as clear in that respect as we possibly can.
Okay,
So I would anticipate, as long as we are buying from a reputable source and using rocks, boulders of this nature that are consistent with the kind of application we're putting them to, then I would expect there to be no problem. It would, you know, and again, you know, maybe you want to mark it out, you know, ahead of time. I don't know. I would encourage you to work directly with Glenn in coordinating that installation. That way, everybody's on the same page, and you're less likely to have a surprise.
okay, thank you.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Is there any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? We're set. We have a second motion that we need to do to amend the original application to include that the daycare will be open 6 to 11 on Saturday nights, or open, do we want to limit to 6 to 11 or just open
Saturdays.
Saturdays?
How about just a 6th day? Or,
Did we specify days in the original application?
yes,
So I think we specified days.
yep, we specified 5 days.
Do we specify Monday through Friday, for example?
Her scope of business did, and that's what you guys base your decision on.
Yeah, so I think now we're amending that to say Monday through Saturday.
Correct.
What were the hours of business for those Monday to Friday? What was the latest hour?
6 to 6.
6 to 6. So that's going to stay the same. You just want a
We're
Saturday
just
night
adding
Nope.
Saturday
from
night.
That's
6 to 11.
6 to 11. But we're putting it in a generic fashion so that we're saying that, yeah, if there's a need to open or expand the business into the day on Saturday, then they don't have to come back here.
Yep, that was the goal.
Yeah, I would appreciate that.
So I would, what I would hope is that we have a motion to approve
Amendment of hours.
to amend the original application to include the business being open on Saturdays, a 6th business day.
I'll take that.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second?
Sure.
Don't sound so excited.
I'm on motion.
Try it, try
I wish I had little kids.
Try to tone down the enthusiasm.
They're waiting.
Is there any discussion?
Just one more thing, just so that if the planning board can make for the minutes, that the applicant understands that any change in the scope of use, they'll have to return to the planning board for another amendment.
Yes. So
Any-
scope of use, meaning, I mean, let's be clear what you're,
The scope of use would be if she increased the number of children, or if she
Right.
put an addition on the place and expanded the structure.
so what you've got is essentially a contract with us,
There
saying
you
what
go.
you're going to do.
12 children, 6 days.
6 days, Jersey barriers or other barriers, fencing, so forth. So anytime you want to come back and make a substantive change in terms of the number of children, the hours of operation, the days, then you really have to come back here and advise us, or at least ask us whether we need to
Gotcha.
look at this again.
Perfect,
Is that fair?
Thank you.
perfect.
Okay. So, any further discussion? We have a motion on the table to permit the 6th-day amendment to this original application. All in favor? Opposed? We're done. Thank you very much.
See ya.
Thank you so much.
Good night, folks.
Good luck, guys.
Jamie, did you get all that?
Sure.
Okay.
Secretary, did we get all that?
I've got notes. I can read them tomorrow.
There we go. Okay. Next order of business. What I'd like to do is Lee or Glenn, Shoreline Zoning Ordinance Amendment Update.
Yay.
Glenn.
DEP has approved our amendment,
Okay.
so that is in force as of anytime we choose it, yes.
So now we're all set. Has it gone to the Board of Selectmen?
Yeah, they've already
Yeah, they
approved
sent
it.
it to DEP.
So we're, that's
done.
We're done.
Toast.
Yeah.
Put it in writing, right?
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista.
One
I
question.
think,
The date that I need to change the shoreline zoning order approval date to, is that the one when we got it dated from the DEP?
From DEP.
Yes, the one that's on the letter.
Yep.
Okay.
Is there a timestamp on the bottom of it?
July 29th.
Yeah.
No actual timestamp.
Or no? It's
Also
initial
under
and dated.
miscellaneous, we have 2 new board members, and potentially at some point in the near future, a 3rd board member, as I understand. It might be opportunity for us to schedule a workshop to do some boardsmanship type of training, Robert's Rules of Order again, general discussion just for this board, so that we can bring everyone back up to speed again.
That would be fine. What I'd like to do is get through the Townline Deli
Yep.
challenge right now and finish up the
Subdivision?
subdivision
Yep.
matter. And then probably, and we're supposed to get that done by August, right?
September.
September?
Yep.
So
We're
I'd
right
say
on schedule still.
post-September, we should, in October, let's look at a workshop to, just on general boardsmanship.
Yep.
And,
If I may,
May.
I don't disagree, I disagree with you.
It's been
So-
said before.
Yeah, well, I think the boardsmanship is too important to carry it out more than a month and a half.
Well, I'll respectfully disagree with you on that.
Okay.
Since we have a fairly heavy schedule going on right
Yep.
now, and it's the middle of summer,
Yep,
so people are going to be away. I agree with you that it's important. I don't believe it's critical, but I would like to get it done when we get a little bit of a break in the action.
okay.
That would be my suggestion on this. In the meantime, if there's any glaring deficiency that we have, then we can address it.
Or if anybody has any specific questions, I'm usually here on Wednesdays for the day and can certainly come in and sit and talk with me.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to have if there's a particular issue to be dealt with, sure, we can
Well, my
schedule
only
that
con-
right after a meeting for a 10-minute workshop kind of thing.
I think what I was looking at would take a half an hour, because the new members, don't know how to address the chair. They don't know when they can raise a hand or when they can't. They don't know if they can interrupt. It's a half hour that would quickly show them what is a quick response to a chair question. How do you second? How do you oppose a second? How do you table?
Okay, Glenn, I'll take it under advisement.
Okay, fair enough.
I appreciate your, the input.
Yep, fair enough.
I think all the concerns I've just heard can be settled by just watching previous planning board meetings. There's nothing that I've heard here that we haven't been doing right along.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're really running pretty, I mean,
We got Lee J.
We're
who's on
formally
top of this.
informal.
I mean, every time we've had a question.
yeah. I agree
Well,
with you
so,
that.
hey, but 1 in 100, Lee J. Come on, we do well.
Okay, fair enough.
I think it's a good point. I think it's worthy of doing something with. I'd like to think about it a little bit, but get it sort of into the fall when we have a little bit less demand on our time.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough. New board members, are you okay with that?
I am.
So, what I was telling Dwayne is that we're formally informal. We try to follow Robert's Rules of Order as interpreted by Dave, or as ignored by Dave, as the case may be. But I try to make sure that everyone is heard, that there's some order of battle that goes on here, and that we follow some kind of process in terms of how we get to votes and how we record things. If you have an objection or think that I'm doing something that's out of bounds, let me know. I'm used to being told that I didn't get it right. I may disagree with you, but I'm happy to hear you out, and if there's a change we need to make or some adjustment, let me know. Fair enough? Mm-hmm. Okay, let us go back to the number 2 item on our agenda, which is meeting minutes. First of all, we have to review and approve the May 15th meeting minutes, of which we do not have a quorum to do so, since Judy Carl and Lee Nelson are no longer with us.
Right, so now we have to look to Lee J and go, okay, how do we do it, sir?
Sorry, I was not prepared for that, so.
Could the motion read that due to the retirement or resignation of those two members, that those remaining planning board members do hereby approve the minutes?
We
That's
will
on the May
also have the
15th.
same problem with
Yeah.
July 19th, or
Yeah.
with June 19th.
So Dave, Dwayne, and John were here for that.
You want some time to look at it?
Well, I would say, yeah, I mean, I would say that I guess the most comfortable way to do it, and I can still find out any legalities on it, would be that even though Lori was absent, if Lori can go back and watch the tape, even though she did not take action on it, and then indicate that she feels comfortable, or you're just going to have to approve it with the 3 members that are on the board and go with that.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Our quorum is 4 versus the 3 that we have. If no one had any objections to the minutes and it got voted unanimously, we would have a 3 vote to approve, which would be a majority in terms of if you had a quorum.
Good point.
It would be a majority of all of the people who were present, because we only had 5.
Well, yeah, 4 is based on 7.
Well, but
No,
3
no,
is,
I'm saying, but you might be,
of all the people that were present at the meeting who could have voted, we had 5.
so we have 3 out of
So we have 3 people that vote, and if we had a unanimous approval of the meeting of minutes for those 2 days with 3 votes, it would have carried under any circumstances.
I like it.
I got a better one. I'll email Natalie tomorrow and ask her what her thought is.
All right,
So we'll just postpone this, we'll table this
Yep.
approval to the next meeting.
So I'm not in my office tomorrow, but I will email her and ask her what her thought is about that. And I will copy Tammy and Glenn on that so that the message will come back through to the office.
Okay, our last item is the meeting minutes of July 17th, of which there was no meeting. And we just need signatures on that.
I need a motion though that you accept that there was
Oh.
no meeting that day.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you.
Do I hear a motion to
Can't help you.
I was gonna throw you a bone.
Do I hear a motion to accept the notation that the planning board scheduled meeting for the 17th was cancelado?
Gee, Dave.
I will make a motion to document that May 17th was canceled and there is no minutes.
Do I have a second? Please. Thank you. All in favor? We're
Dave,
set.
Dave, you struggled harder with that one than with the boulders.
Is there any other business that we have to cover this evening?
Reschedule?
What?
Are you rescheduling anything tonight?
Oh, yes.
We're going to, we have not set dates. We're rescheduling the site walk and the public hearing to the next available dates, consistent with announcing, making the proper announcements, and the availability
We no
of the
longer
time.
have to do an announcement in the newspaper this time because anybody interested in it is now up to them to follow.
Once it's been advertised, you don't
Okay,
need to read it.
so we just have to confirm with the Townline Deli people that they can,
The 21st of August will be the next meeting.
as far as I'm concerned, and unless there's any objection, that's fine with me.
Both sidewalk and public hearing.
Yep. So, let it be so.
And if people shouldn't complain that they don't have access to information because we have what we call affectionately the board, and all of this information goes out to them every time there's a meeting, so they should see
That's
that
fine.
well in advance.
That's fine.
So
And the butters will be notified also, or they have to
it's
follow?
up to them to follow once
Okay.
they sign on that little line.
Got it. Any other business? I hear a motion to adjourn.
See, we don't.
That's right, we don't need
See,
training.
we don't need board
We got this down.
I've watched enough of these
Any
videos.
any discussion? All in favor? Opposed, we're gone. Thank you.